everyone, welcome to my channel here at Nene's Prep and Kitchen. How many of you have went to the grocery store and you've seen something substituted with something else, okay? Well, anyway, you can be at home and, have to substitute for something else as well. How many of you have ever needed some self-rising flour and you didn't have it, or you didn't have any baking powder, or how about this, you didn't have an egg? Well, I have a few substitutions that might help you along the way, and especially, in the times that we live in, they could possibly, with the shortages and everything, maybe save the day for you in the kitchen, so anyway, I'm going to show you some substitutions to maybe help you along the way. So make sure you stay tuned. Okay, the first substitution I'm going to show you is how to make self-rising flour if you ever needed it and didn't have it. As long as you have all-purpose flour, you can make self-rising flour by just taking 1 cup of your all-purpose flour, and you're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So is a half, okay. So we're going to want 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So here's 1 teaspoon, and we're going to get a half one there. And right there, you have now self-rising flour that you needed by just taking your baking powder and your flour. And we also want to add in some salt to that, which would be 1/4 teaspoon. So that's a half teaspoon right there, 1/4 teaspoon. Now we have self-rising flour, because I almost forgot to add the salt. So anyway, there's one substitution for you that you could possibly use one day. Another thing, have you ever wondered how to make baking powder? Maybe you need to make some baking powder for your biscuits, but you didn't have any baking powder, okay? No baking powder. So we're going to make some baking powder by taking 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Get 1/4 teaspoon here. And now we have made some baking powder because, well, we didn't have none. But we were able to make it because we did have baking soda and cream of tartar. So these are good things, to keep in your pantry, so you can at least make substitutions. Okay, and something you may not know is you can substitute 3 tablespoons of peanut butter, and it will equal 1 egg. So, as long, like if you're making peanut butter cookies, do you ever do the recipe 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 egg? That's why. The peanut butter substituted that egg. So you can do that. And also 1/4 cup of applesauce also becomes the substitute for 1 egg. This for that. So if you need an egg, you know, in some of your baking, cooking that you're doing, you can do that. Now I have an applesauce cake that I make. No eggs. Only has applesauce. So it does work. Now I've also used like 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise to substitute an egg in meatloaf before. And you can also do that. Next thing, that a half a cup of applesauce also is equivalent to, okay, a half a cup of applesauce also is equal to 1 stick of butter, a half a stick of butter. So if you need butter, it can be substituted for the applesauce. So pretty cool, huh? All right, and the next one that I have is if you want to make heavy cream. Okay, so if you wanted to make a heavy cream, you take 2/3 cup of whole milk and a 1/3 cup of melted butter. Use the unsalted butter for that, though. So once you have your 2/3 cups of milk, whole milk, and a 1/3 cup of melted butter, which I have right here, if you combine that together, you will have heavy cream or curdled butter. I believe this is probably going to have to be strained because this here was an experiment for sure, but I have lots of butter on top, so I'm thinking of straining that and then finding out what we end up with. Okay, I have me a little strainer here over a bowl, so I'm actually going to strain that into that. And see what we get then. Because that right there is like curds. Nowhere near heavy cream. And I don't want to try it if it's not going to work. So I'm going to grab a spoon and see if it tastes like heavy cream now. Now I tasted that and it actually does taste a little bit more like heavy cream now. I wonder what would happen if I tried to whip it up, if it would turn into whipped cream or not. That would tell the story, but it does taste like heavy cream. So I'm not sure. I may take this and whip it up and see if I can get whipped cream out of it or not. It tastes like heavy cream though, so yeah, this one I'm not sure whether to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down on it. Let me know if any of you have ever tried to get heavy cream doing it this way. So I'm going to try to whip it up real quick and see what happens. Okay, I tried whipping it to get whipped cream. I did start getting a froth on it. You see that? The froth? So it did start to maybe become some whipped cream. But I ended up pouring the rest of that butter in here too, which helped it. But it tastes just like whipped cream. That's for sure. But I don't know if you would actually be able to get like whipped topping out of it. But, you know, if you just needed some heavy cream for a recipe or something, I do think that would work. And that's like the curds from it, you know, because the fat went in with the milk. That's how you have heavy cream. But now I have heavy cream on my mouth. So anyway, guys, there's some substitutions for you. You know, if you ever get in a pinch and while you're in the kitchen or you can't find it at the stores. Anyway, there's some ideas for you. So if you like the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And to you newcomers, thank you so much for joining, and really appreciate it. So anyway, guys, toodaloo, God bless, see you in the next video.